Hello, Natalie Tarry here from Natematics. I'm here to go through that famous probability question that came up a few years ago. Not that many years ago, maybe about 2016. And it was a question that many people thought, oh my goodness, that's impossible. I would like to go through it and explain how, if you get a question like this, what is the best way to tackle it? So I'm going to take you through, obviously, the solution and mention things as I go along. So this question came up. It was that Hannah has N sweets, and you'll notice it is higher level, by the way. There are 6 orange ones. She picks a sweet and eats it, and then picks another sweet and eats it. The probability of getting 2 orange sweets is 1/3. Show that n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0. Now, people looking at that might think, what? They are just totally and utterly not related to each other. But you go into an exam question, you go into the exam or get a question, and you have to have that belief that you are not going to get asked anything that you can't do. So there must be something that you've studied that can help you to do this. So what I suggest is, well, first of all, what can you say? Excuse me. I can see a frog in my throat, I think. So what have we got here? Well, it's clearly something to do with probability. We know there are n sweets. That n could be 6, it could be 10, whatever, but we don't know what it is. There are 6 orange ones. We're not told what else is in there. So is that important? Maybe not. We're also told the probability. So there's some sort of probability thing going on. And we know that if they have 2 orange sweets, the chance of that happening is 1/3. At this point, I'm not even going to think about this, okay? I'm going to look at what I've got in the rest of the question and think, well, what do I know that can connect things with probability, picking something, eating it, picking something else and eating it. So what can I do with that? So we've got 6 orange sweets. So how many are not orange sweets? All right, well, actually, think about what would you do if you knew how many sweets there were in the bag. So if there were, say, 15 sweets in the bag, how many would you decide are not orange sweets? Well, yeah, if there's 6 orange sweets, there's 15 altogether. We take 6 away from 15 to find out how many there are. And one of my best tips is we do to letters exactly what we do to numbers. Oh, sorry, we do to numbers exactly what we do to letters. Sorry, you know what I mean. We do to numbers exactly. Do you know what? I'm gonna keep this in here because it's one of those days. Okay, we do exactly to letters as we do to numbers. So basically, we have the number of sweets there are altogether. Take away 6. Okay, so that's a fact that we know. So, and the other bit is probability of orange and an orange is equal to 1/3. I've just kind of put that in the notation that we have for probability. So then I think about, well, actually, what maths have I learnt where I have pick something and then pick something else afterwards? What about a tree diagram? So let's do that then. The order of this might just be a bit out of sync, but hey, don't worry. So the first thing is we take a sweet. There are 2 things that can happen. It can either be an orange sweet or it won't be an orange sweet. Okay, so all we're doing here is writing down what we know from this question. Then we take the second sweet. So again, if we had an orange sweet the first time, the second time we have one, there's going to be at least 5 sweets left, so we can definitely still have an orange, and we could have a not orange sweet. Now, also, if we didn't have an orange sweet the first time, the second time we could still have an orange and a not orange. Now, what we do know is the probability, if we go that way, so we have an orange and an orange, is 1/3. So think about, well, how do we work out that? Now, I know that if we work out the probability of that, multiplied by the probability of that, the answer is going to be 1/3. So let's think about what the probabilities are. Well, for orange, we know that there are 6 orange sweets out of a total of n sweets, because that's how many there are altogether. The second time around, we've already taken one of the oranges out because we went this way. So therefore, we have 5 orange sweets left out of a total of n minus 1. Okay, because there's already 1 sweet being taken out. And we do know that we multiply those 2 together, we get 1/3. Okay, so have we answered the question yet? No, we haven't showed n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0. So the thing is like, well, what maths can I do with what I've got? Okay, so I've got something here. What maths can I do with that? Okay, so we've got 2 fractions. What do we do when we multiply 2 fractions together? What would you do if they were numbers? Simple. We multiply the tops together. We multiply the bottoms, or the numerators, the denominators. So we end up with 6 times 5, 30. And then n times n minus 1 is n squared minus n. And we know it's equal to 1/3. So think about, well, actually, what we're looking towards is it doesn't have a fraction in it at all, does it? So we need to think, well, actually, we need to get this off the bottom, and we need to get this off the bottom. So we multiply through by 3 and n squared minus n. I've actually done it one step at a time here, or you could do it in one go if you want to. Okay, so we multiply 3 by 3. Oops, this is going to go, and then we end up with, that's 30 times 3. So basically the 3 goes to the top there, and we end up with 90 over n squared minus n. Okay, then to multiply through by n squared minus n, which basically means that goes up to there and multiplies by the 1 to give 90 equals n squared minus n. This is looking quite close, isn't it, now, to what we need? So I suggest look at the question. You'll actually see we are incredibly close to that. Show that n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0. Just have a moment and think how we can actually get from what we've got now to what we need at the end. That's right, if we just manipulate it slightly, we take the 90 over to the same side as that, which becomes n minus 90, and we're left with this 0 on here. And all I've done is swap the right-hand side with the left-hand side. So there we go. N squared minus n minus 90 equals 0, as required. So the key thing is, look at the question, think, what maths can I do with what I've got here? Forget about the n squared minus n minus 90 to start with. Just keep going on and saying, well, what maths can I do? What maths can I do? And as time goes on, keep looking back at the question and thinking, am I close to what I need? You will get method marks. If you're doing the right stuff with the math, with the numbers and the expressions and the fractions, you're going to get some marks, all right? Because remember, it's not just about the end bit, it's about showing how you get there. I really do hope that was helpful. I tried to put as much stuff in there as possible to help you. If you have any questions, you know where I am. I'm always here, and I'm going to be online basically from now up until all the exams, up until about 9:30 at night. So please send me some questions. Okay, thank you very much, and watch out for my next video. Thank you very much. Bye.